I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait.
Alright, malicious people, so we got a little bit of a banger today. A nice little pew 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 for bosses, specifically. But, yeah, for fodder, it's pretty good too, although it's a little slow. We got the Vasto Incarnon, which is currently in Prime Resurgence right now, and if you manage to go crack some relics, you should be able to grab a hold of that, which is going to be very, very nice. It's very, very common, due to the fact that, if I remember correctly, there's only one rare, and there's like, it's basically like a very average, relic. So, you're gonna be able to get a hold of this pretty easily. The thing is, you're also gonna have to go and get the Incarnon form, which requires, having to go to Covero after you go to Deburi during a certain week, which means you're probably gonna have to wait for that. Or if you already have one and you're just sitting on it from when it first came out, or if you have one like installed and you just wanted to wait until somebody could show you a good build, well, here it is. Well, yeah, actually very much here it is. It's a very good boss killer, but for fodder, it's actually not that great. So, Acolytes, Archons, and unfortunately not exactly the, actually no, I take that back. If you give it to the right frame, you can actually take out the sturdy eyes, but probably not in Steel Path. So if you want to go in there not in Steel Path and you just want to take them out for quick funsies, it's actually very great. Keep in mind that he doesn't have a very good head to shoot, so there's that. We'll be focusing today on a pure crit build. Essentially, we're going to be dumping a lot of points into crit, but we're not going to be doing much status. The reason why is because the Incarnate mode, which we're going to be focusing on, is a shotgun that fires a lot of pellets, and it's also a burst fire. Specifically, you're going to be fanning the hammer on a Judge revolver with a bit of birdshot in it, which is very, very dangerous. Do not do that at home. Although, I think birdshot is legal to shoot somebody with in a, what's it called? A stand your ground law place. But I don't think it's supposed to be like buckshot or something, so just don't go looking to shoot somebody with the head with birdshot. That is actually quite shitty. You don't want to blind your friend because you thought it was going to be non-lethal. It is non-lethal most of the time, but you don't want to shoot your friend in the face with a bunch of pellets that could blind him. Don't do that. Also, yeah, I don't live in a stand your ground law place, so I don't exactly know the details. So, yeah, there's that. What we do have the details on is the build. Nice little segue. So, yeah, the build is coming up, and I hope you like it, because I did work a while for this. It's just that this build, kinda sorta, is a build that I had for bosses, but today we'll be focusing on fodder. So, yeah, enjoy the build! Alright, malicious people, so for modding today, we'll be doing corrosive and cold. Corrosive is the weakness of the acolytes, and we'll be focusing mainly on making this weapon stand on its own, by itself, without any primers necessary. And cold will be able to slow them down, as well as the fact that when the cold proc gets high enough, it will actually make it to where it increases the final crit damage by 50%. Essentially, this 6 will become a 9. Galvanized Shot is here for extra damage once we stack it up, which we'll also be stacking with secondary Deadhead. The total damage, which I'll probably see if I can put some basic math onto the screen at the end of this segment to show you how much damage the Galvanized Shot will be, and how much damage Deadhead will be, as well as putting it together to show you a little bit of a final baseline, basic math without taking into consideration any modifiers, how much damage we'll be doing. Gazo's Diffusion will be giving us a boost in multi-shot, and each time we kill, we'll get even more. Creeping Bullseye will get the crit chance of the Incarnon form, which will be what we're going to be focusing on to go to orange crits. And because of this, the orange crits will actually be able to make, where'd it go? Hollow Point work. Because Hollow Point will be able to go above 6 damage multiplier. But for this demonstration, we'll be using Pure Cold and Corrosive. We're going to be using a Bane mod, and the reason why that is because we won't need front-loaded damage as soon as we get everything maxed out. Plus, I prefer to play this way, but if you're one of the people who are on the other side of the line when it comes to front-loaded damage versus Bane mods, you can definitely use Cornet Strike. They'll be completely fine. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. As long as it's effective, you can play however you want. We'll also be using Time Carrot Croaker, and that's literally just crit damage, which is very, very nice. So, here's some math, and let's move on to the next segment. I'll see you there. Well, I guess it's time for the final segment, which is going to be very interesting, which is, check this out. I decided to do a 5-number ranking. Woo! And for the 5-number ranking, we're going to basically be saying this. It's very, very slow, but it's very, very powerful. But because it's supposed to be something that I build for alone, basically on its own, it's not great, but it's very powerful. It's just too slow to actually go into like a very high ranking survival and do stuff with it. The thing is it's kills per minute, not kills per trigger pool, which is gonna be too slow for me. So I will be basically saying very powerful, very slow, and it doesn't have that many shots in the Incarnon mode, which means you have to hit the head a lot. So I'm going to give it a nice little 3. It has 2 problems that are very hard to deal with when it comes to people who just want to play normally. So hitting the head constantly to fill 4 shots, technically. And the fact that it kind of sort of is just, you know, too slow. I've mentioned that a couple of times. I think that actually is bothering me more than I thought it was. Anyway, nice little 3! For our little Vasto Incarnon. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, because I did. And don't worry about the whole thing of, like, me being in a bad mood. It's just because I have been low on food. And I managed to get some food! Yay! Gina got food! So we're gonna have a lot more better time to just play around and have some fun, because I am now fed. I am a fed little plant boy. Yep. And so, live for the... sorry, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Blah, blah, blah. Have wonderful, wonderful nightmares. I will see you in them. And remember, if you're watching my content, I know you're into it. Honey, honey. Mwah. Good night. And make sure you're hydrated and fed, or you're gonna get hangry. Yeah. Good night.
Your will
Hey, dreamers.
was greater.
We are
This
up
is
and
good.
ready to party.
You are running out of time. Consider extraction.